Let me tell you something. There's a force within you that's louder than any voice of doubt, stronger than any obstacle, and more magnetic than any spotlight. It's not luck, it's not beauty, it's not status, it's personality, your energy, your essence, your undeniable presence. Let me tell you something. There's a force inside you that no one can imitate, duplicate, or replace. It's not about where you come from, what you look like, or who you know. It's about something much deeper, something that defines the way you show up in the world. That force is your personality. Personality is not surface, it's soul. It's the electric pulse that tells the world, I am here and I matter. You see, people may forget your words, they may forget your achievements, but they will never forget how your presence made them feel. That's the true definition of power. Not the ability to control others, but the ability to move them. The world often confuses power with position. We're told that titles, wealth, and influence are the ultimate goals. But power doesn't come from what you have, it comes from what you are. The CEO in the corner office might have authority, but that doesn't mean they have presence. And presence cannot be bought. It's cultivated. It's built through how you carry yourself, how you respond under pressure, and how you treat people when there's nothing to gain. Power rooted in personality commands respect, not fear. It's that quiet strength that doesn't need to announce itself, but still fills every corner of the room. Your personality is your signature energy, the vibration that precedes you and lingers long after you've gone. Think about it. When someone truly magnetic walks into a room, you feel it before they even speak. Their posture, their confidence, their eye contact. It's like the atmosphere rearranges itself around them. That's not arrogance. That's alignment. That's what happens when your internal world matches your external energy. You can't pretend your way into that kind of power. People can sense when you're being real. They can feel when your presence is genuine and when it's forced. True power lives in that authenticity, in being unapologetically you. But personality isn't just what's loud and seen. It's also what's silent and steady. It's the calm you bring into chaos. The optimism you choose when life tests you. The humility you hold when success tempts you to forget your roots. Those are the qualities that define strong character. You can't fake kindness. You can't fabricate depth. You can't purchase integrity. These elements are earned through experience, through resilience, through the willingness to grow even when it hurts. The strongest personalities are not the ones who shout the loudest, but the ones who stand their ground with quiet conviction. And here's the thing most people don't realize: personality is not fixed. It's not some static trait you're born with. It's a muscle you build. Every time you choose courage over comfort, authenticity over approval, and empathy over ego, your personality evolves. Every time you decide to show up as your truest self, you strengthen the power of your presence. The world doesn't respond to perfection, it responds to energy. If you walk into a room thinking small, people feel it. If you walk in knowing your worth, they can't ignore it. The world mirrors back the energy you bring. That's why personality matters more than appearance, more than status, more than anything external. It's the core from which everything else flows. When you understand the power of personality, you stop trying to fit in and start standing out. You stop chasing validation and start commanding respect. You stop waiting for permission and start owning your place in every room you enter. Because power isn't about dominance. It's about influence. It's about leaving people better than you found them. It's about having the courage to be exactly who you are in a world that constantly tries to make you something else. When you live from that space of authenticity, people don't just notice you, they feel you, they remember you, they trust you. Because personality isn't just the way you move through the world, it's the way the world moves because of you. So don't underestimate your power. You are not ordinary. You are not replaceable. You are a force, an energy that shifts spaces, changes moods, and inspires hearts. Your personality is your legacy. It's your signature on the world. Own it. Nurture it. Let it shine without apology. Because the power of your personality is the most unstoppable thing you'll ever possess. Confidence is not a gift wrapped in your DNA. It's not something you're either born with or without. Confidence is a choice. A conscious decision you make every single day. It's waking up, looking at yourself in the mirror and saying, I belong here. I am enough. It's not about arrogance or pretending to have it all together. True confidence is quiet, grounded, and unshakable. It doesn't scream for attention, it attracts it. Because when you believe in your own worth, you move differently, you speak differently, you radiate it differently, and that energy becomes magnetic. It doesn't matter where you start or how uncertain you feel. Once you decide to trust yourself, that's when confidence begins to rise. The biggest misconception people have about confidence is that it's about always feeling fearless. That's wrong. Confidence doesn't mean you never doubt yourself. It means you don't let doubt drive the car. It's knowing fear will show up, but deciding to move forward anyway. It's walking into rooms where you don't know anyone and standing tall instead of shrinking small. It's saying your truth even when your voice shakes. That's what makes confident people different. They feel the same fear everyone else does, but they don't let it define them. They face it. They own it. And in doing so, they transform it. Every time you choose action over hesitation, you reinforce the message to your mind that you can handle whatever comes next. That's the real foundation of confidence. Proven courage through consistent action. Confidence is not about being perfect, it's about being aligned. When what you think, what you say, and what you do are in sync, you create an unbreakable flow within yourself. That's when people start to trust you. Not because of what you say, but because your energy is consistent. Confidence built on authenticity is magnetic because it feels real. There's nothing more powerful than someone who knows exactly who they are and doesn't apologize for it. When your inner voice stops fighting your outer expression, you become unstoppable. You stop chasing approval and start leading with conviction. You don't need to prove yourself. You embody yourself. And that kind of confidence commands respect without demanding it. But let's be honest. Building that alignment takes work. It means unlearning every lie you've ever been told about your worth. It means silencing the noise of comparison that screams you're not enough, not smart enough, not beautiful enough. The truth is, no one feels confident all the time. The people you admire have just mastered the art of showing up, even when they're uncertain. They've learned that self-belief is a practice, not a feeling. Every "I can't" replaced with "I'll try." Every failure turned into a lesson. Every rejection reinterpreted as redirection. Confidence is the muscle you grow when you keep standing up, no matter how many times you fall. It's not instant. It's earned through persistence, discipline, and courage. You also have to understand that confidence is contagious. When you walk into a room radiating belief in yourself, others feel it. They respond to it. They're drawn to it. You set the tone for how others treat you by how you treat yourself. If you constantly downplay your strengths, people will believe you. If you stand tall and speak with conviction, they'll believe that too. The world mirrors your energy. So, stop waiting for someone to hand you validation. Give it to yourself. Every time you celebrate your wins, speak your mind, or take a risk that scares you, you're sending a message to the world: I am here, and I am capable. That's how confidence becomes your identity. Not because someone told you so, but because you decided it was yours. And finally, understand this. Confidence isn't about being better than anyone else. It's about being better than who you were yesterday. It's about evolving, growing, and constantly choosing self-belief even when it's hard. Confidence is the fire that fuels your dreams. The voice that tells you to keep going when no one else does. It's what gives your personality its power and your presence its light. You don't need to have it all figured out. You just need to keep showing up as the boldest, truest version of yourself. Because once you decide to own your confidence, the world starts to adjust around your energy. As confidence is not given, it's created. It's not about waiting for the right moment. It's about declaring that this is your moment. So walk tall. Speak with purpose. Trust your instincts. You don't need permission to be powerful. You already are. Confidence is not something you find. It's something you become. And when you do, the world can't help but take notice. We live in a world that worships perfection. Perfect faces, perfect lives, perfect stories. Everywhere you look, there's a standard you're told to chase. But let me tell you something. Real perfection is an illusion. It's a moving target that keeps you running, but never arriving. People don't connect with perfection. They connect with truth. They connect with the cracks, the chaos, the courage it takes to be real in a world addicted to filters. Authenticity is not about being flawless. It's about being honest. It's about saying, this is who I am. This is what I've been through. And I'm not afraid to own it. Because when you show up as yourself, unedited and unapologetic, you give others permission to do the same. That's where real influence begins. Not in pretending, but in being. The reason authenticity beats every single time is because perfection distances you from people. but authenticity draws them in. When you're trying to be perfect, you're performing, you're constantly adjusting yourself to meet someone else's idea of what's acceptable. That's exhausting. You start shrinking your voice, hiding your flaws, and living a life that doesn't even feel like yours. Authenticity, on the other hand, is freedom. It's the courage to say, "This is my truth," even when it's messy, even when it's misunderstood. When you stop performing, you start living, and people can feel that. The world is starving for realness, for voices that sound human, not rehearsed. You don't inspire others by being untouchable, you inspire them by being relatable. There's power in vulnerability, a power most people underestimate. Vulnerability isn't weakness, it's emotional honesty. It's the bridge that connects hearts. When you share your struggles, your fears, your lessons, you don't lose respect, you gain trust. Because people see themselves in your story. The strongest personalities are not those who hide their scars, but those who wear them as proof that they survived. Think about it. Every leader, artist, or changemaker who's left a mark did so not by being perfect, but by being raw, open, and real. They showed the world that authenticity has more impact than perfection ever could. Vulnerability turns your story into strength. It turns your humanity into connection. And connection is what moves the world. Authenticity also demands courage. The courage to stand firm in your truth, even when it's uncomfortable. The moment you decide to be real, you challenge systems built on appearances. You'll face judgment. You'll face doubt. But authenticity isn't about being liked. It's about being aligned. It's about looking at yourself and knowing that the person you are in private matches the person you show to the world. That's integrity. That's strength. When you live that way, you don't need validation. You become your own source of peace. Authenticity takes bravery because it means being seen fully. Your flaws, your fire, your faith. But that's also what makes it beautiful. The more real you are, the more powerfully you live. And here's the magic: authenticity is magnetic. It draws the right people, the right opportunities, and the right energy into your life. Because when you stop trying to fit into boxes that were never meant for you, you finally make space for what's meant to find you. Your authenticity filters your world. You stop attracting situations built on pretense and start aligning with people who see and value the real you. The world doesn't need another perfect copy. It needs your original energy. It needs your laughter, your flaws, your perspective, your story. The world doesn't just want authenticity. It craves it. Because realness is rare and rarity has value. When you own your truth, you become untouchable, not because you're perfect, but because you're whole. So stop chasing perfection. It's time to trade performance for presence. You are not meant to be flawless. You're meant to be real. That's where your power lies. When you drop the mask, your light gets brighter. When you stop editing yourself, your voice gets stronger. You were never designed to blend in. You were meant to stand out as the truest version of yourself. And that version, the authentic, imperfect, raw version, is already enough. It always has been. It always will be. So here's the truth: perfection fades. But authenticity lasts forever. The world doesn't need you to be perfect. It needs you to be real. Be bold enough to show your flaws, brave enough to share your story, and wise enough to know that your authenticity is your greatest strength. Because the moment you embrace your truth, you stop existing for approval and start living in your power.